नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. So today's topic is meditation on form of the Supreme. Now, this is Lord Brahma, the creator of this material universe, and that's his meditation on the form of the Lord, the cowherd boy Krishna. This is the verse we have for today. Uru suparṇa-bhujayor adhi śobhamānau ojo-nidhī atasikā-kusumāvabhāsau vyālambi-pīta-vara-vāsasi vartamāna kāñcī-kalāpa-parirambhi nitamba-bimbam Uru suparṇa-bhujayor adhi śobhamānau. Keep going. Ojo-nidhī atasikā-kusumāvabhāsau vyālambi-pīta-vara-vāsasi vartamāna kāñcī-kalāpa-parirambhi nitamba-bimbam Uru suparṇa-bhujayor adhi śobhamānau ojo-nidhī atasikā-kusumāvabhāsau vyālambi-pīta-vara-vāsasi vartamāna kāñcī-kalāpa-parirambhi nitamba-bimbam. Someone else can chant. Uru suparṇa-bhujayor adhi śobhamānau ojo-nidhī atasikā-kusumāvabhāsau vyālambi-pīta-vara-vāsasi vartamāna kāñcī-kalāpa-parirambhi nitamba-bimbam Uru suparṇa-bhujayor adhi śobhamānau ojo-nidhī atasikā-kusumāvabhāsau vyālambi-pīta-vara-vāsasi vartamāna kāñcī-kalāpa-parirambhi nitamba-bimbam. Mataji, please. Uru suparṇa-bhujayor adhi śobhamānau ojo-nidhī atasikā-kusumāvabhāsau vyālambi-pīta-vara-vāsasi vartamāna kāñcī-kalāpa-parirambhi nitamba-bimbam Uru suparṇa-bhujayor adhi śobhamānau ojo-nidhī atasikā-kusumāvabhāsau vyālambi-pīta-vara-vāsasi vartamāna-bhujayoḥ-nitamba-bimbam vartamāna kāñcī-kalāpa-parirambhi nitamba-bimbam. Synonyms: Uru, the two thighs; suparṇa, of Garuḍa; bhujayoḥ, the two shoulders; adhi, on; śobhamānau, beautiful; oja-nidhī, the storehouse of all energy; atasikā-kusuma, of the linseed flower; avabhāsau, like the lustre; vyālambi, extending down; pīta, yellow; vara, exquisite; vāsasi, on the cloth; vartamāna, being; kāñcī-kalāpa, by a girdle; parirambhi, encircled; nitamba-bimbam, his rounded hips. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Next, the yogi should fix his mind in meditation on the Personality of Godhead's thighs, the storehouse of all energy. The Lord's thighs are whitish blue, like the lustre of the linseed flower, and appear most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuḍa. Also, the yogi should contemplate his rounded hips, which are encircled by a girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth that extends down to his ankles. Purport. The Personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all strength, and his strength rests on the thighs of his transcendental body. His whole body is full of opulences, all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. The yogi is advised to meditate upon the transcendental form of the Lord, beginning from the soles of the feet, and then gradually rising to the knees, to the thighs, and finally arriving at the face. The system of meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead begins from his feet. The description of the transcendental form of the Lord is exactly represented in the Archa Vigraha, the statue in the temples. Generally, the lower part of the body of the statue of the Lord is covered with yellow silk. That is the Vaikuntha dress, or the dress the Lord wears in the spiritual sky. This cloth extends down to the Lord's ankles. Thus, since the yogi has so many transcendental objectives on which to meditate, there is no reason for his meditating on something imaginary, as is the practice of the so-called yogis, whose objective is impersonal. Om ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhescha kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. I am just filling in for Dhira-lalita Prabhu. He was scheduled to speak today, and I think he got back pretty late. So that's why you see me here. But this is in the purport we see Srila Prabhupada, he is talking about that there are so many objectives for the yogis to meditate on, especially on the form of the Lord. But still, there are so many people, they still choose to meditate on the impersonal or void. But we hear from time to time, it doesn't help them achieve the goal, and neither it brings them complete satisfaction. They have to come down to material platform, their meditation is interrupted, and they are completely distracted from their path. So there are so many historical examples. We can take some from Srimad Bhagavatam. We know famous example of Shobhari Muni. He was meditating under the water for thousands of years, and he got distracted. So many yogis like that. But the meditation on the form of the Lord, even a beginner, they can become so fixed just by meditating on the form of the Lord. In this purport specifically, it's talking about meditating on the thighs of the Lord. And then Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he's explaining the procedure, how the meditation actually starts from the feet. How we heard from Sachaitanya Prabhu, he was explaining so nicely. Lakshmi Devi is massaging the feet of the Lord, and she is actually a great example of serving the lotus feet and meditating on the feet. So we see here we have such a exotic, exquisite worship of the deities, very attractive. Even to people who don't know anything, they come to the temple and they look at the deities and they are like, this is so beautiful. They get, some of them, Aitota Prabhu, he gives these fresh flower garlands. And people are amazed. Wow, this is real flower? For many people, it's like a big surprise. Wow, do real flowers exist? Like they can get a fresh flower garland like this? Some people, their minds are really blown away by just by receiving a fresh flower garland. You can see. And even like I speak with him sometimes. He's distributing so much prasadam to so many people. And I guess he's the person, most people who come to the temple, they know him. Maybe they don't know Savas Prabhu, maybe they don't know Brigupati Prabhu or Archita Prabhu. But everyone who comes to the temple, they know Aitota. Why? Because he is distributing all the prasad. And most people, they can appreciate prasad, right? So they know him. And I was asking him one day, man, like you are distributing so much prasadam. You are like the best person in the temple. Everyone gets to know you. And you are giving the mercy directly to them. Because Savas Prabhu is in his office and doing so many things, organizing. So many people don't even get to see him. But here is Aitota. So I was like, do you know, like, you are like right in front of the deities, in front of them you are giving prasadam to these people. And no wonder they appreciate him so much. So we can see like how just by doing simple acts of devotional service, one can make so much advancement, and one can become dear to people in general even. We were talking about Gopal Bhatta Goswami other day, the 6 Goswamis, Sanatan Goswami especially. He was so dear to all the residents of Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada, he shares in one talk he gave, and he's saying people loved him so much, even if the husband and wife, they have some conflict, some argument, they would go to Sanatana Goswami. This is what's happening, can you help us? So, by engaging in devotional service, one becomes so dear, even to people in general. We can see now like how there is this so much wildfire, so much disturbance by that, and we see how so many devotees are coming forward to help distribute prasadam to those people. And many devotees, they are going out and sharing, and people are appreciating that so much. So simple acts of devotional service, they can help us progress so much. What to talk about, like meditating on the personal form. In the temples, every temple has some form of the Lord. And Prabhupada is describing in the purport, the meditation starts from the feet. Generally, when we look at someone, we directly look at their face. But this is the Vedic standard. When we come to the temple, we should also tell others. We start looking at the form of the Lord from the feet, and then gradually we raise our vision to the face. We don't directly look at the face. Even for the Guru, when we see the Guru, we don't just directly look at their face. We look at their feet first, and then slowly we raise our vision to their face. So that's the proper way to do it. And by doing that, even a beginner, they can become fixed in their meditation. This one example that comes to my memory is from Nectar of Devotion. Srila Prabhupada, he gives this story of a Brahmana. And he's meditating. He's just meditating. He's not actually doing it. He's just meditating in his mind because he didn't have all the facility. He wanted to offer sweet rice. So he's meditating on offering the sweet rice to the Lord. But then in his meditation, he was feeling that he's getting late, so he should hurry up. And he didn't let the sweet rice cool down. The sweet rice was still hot. So the Lord, in his meditation, the Lord is tasting his sweet rice and it's kind of hot. So he felt some burnt on his finger. And he could see that just in so when he felt the burnt on his finger, his meditation broke. And he's looking at his finger. My finger is okay, but I felt some burnt. So he could feel that, and he checked, the sweet rice was hot. So he realized, man, I offered hot sweet rice to the Lord. So he felt it's too hot to be offered. And that's why I'm feeling this burnt on my finger. That's how powerful meditation on the form of the Lord is. You cannot experience something like this meditating on something void or impersonal. One experience I remember hearing from His Holiness Radha Govinda Swami. He's also a Prabhupada disciple, and he don't travel in America, as far as I am aware, but he travels many parts of the other parts of the world, and he's based in India. So I heard from first time in person from him in Mayapur when I was there doing the Bhakti Shastri course before coming to New Dwarka. And I just thought, oh, this is like Indian Maharaj. But I thought, okay, we'll go and see. He speaks in Indian. And I went to listen to his discourse. He was going to speak for a few days. And then I saw there is a Jananivas Prabhu. And he has one devotee translating to him. And then I was thinking, man, he must be a very important Maharaj. Here is Jananivas Prabhu, and he's getting someone to translate to him, just to hear him what he's talking about. So, because I didn't know much about him at that point of time, and then I heard from some other devotees like how dear he is to Srila Prabhupada, and he personally gave him instructions to give Bhagavat Saptah. Generally, devotees don't do Bhagavat Saptah, but he was ordered personally by Srila Prabhupada to give Bhagavat Saptah. And I have heard some of his recordings he gave at Haridwar, That's where Narad Muni arranged the first Bhagavad Saptah with the 4 Kumaras. So anyways, his experience I wanted to share. So he was traveling in Dubai and he was at the airport, and this one airport staff, he came to him and he greeted him. He's a Muslim person following the path of Islam, and he asked him, I have heard you worship a statue. And Maharaj replied, we don't worship statue, we worship Krishna, we worship God. And then he was like, how is it? I've heard you guys worship statue. Then this person said, wait a minute, I will come back to you, I have to go and do something. So it was time for his prayer. So he went and he started doing his, the Muslims, they do their prayers at certain times in the day. So he went, he was doing his prayer, and then he came back to Maharaj. So then Maharaj asked him, what were you doing? Because he could see he went to offer his prayers. He said, I was saying my prayers. He said, so you think someone is listening to your prayer? He said, yes. So who is listening to your prayer? He said, I was praying to God and God is listening to my prayer. So then he said, how does God listen to your prayer? So he got a little offended. What kind of question are you asking me? I said, well, he asked Maharaj a question. How do you listen to someone? He said, I listen through my ear. Okay. So then Maharaj asked him, so you think God has ears? He said, he started thinking, that's true, like how does God listen? Maybe he has ears too. So he accepted that part, he has ears. And then he said, okay, if God is listening to your prayers, do you think he can respond back to you? So he again went into thinking, man, can God respond to my prayers? This guy was really bewildered by Maharaj's questions. Probably no one asked him questions like that. He's like, I'm offering prayers, so God is hearing. Maybe he can respond to my prayer. Because I know sometimes God does respond to prayers. So then he said so you think he can speak back to you? Kind of unwillingly he accepted, yes. How will he speak? How do you speak? I speak with my mouth. Okay, so he started thinking, maybe God has a mouth also. So gradually he asked him few questions like that, and he came to the point, he was like, okay, I understand what you want to say. So he accepted that God does have a form. He has, even in Bible I think it says the person, the living being is created in the image of God. So we accept these kind of truths, but when it comes to accepting the form of God, then we deny it. Many people deny it, not everyone. Of course, the devotees don't deny. But there are many people, like here Srila Prabhupada is saying, there are many yogis. They meditate on Brahman, they meditate on void. But here, there is so many ways to understand that God does have a form. And it's the most beautiful form. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha. His form is Satchid Ananda. Everyone is looking for Ananda, pleasure. But you see, God's form is condensed pleasure. If we are looking for pleasure, that's where we should be looking for. That's the form that can give unlimited pleasure. But we look at forms which are like not Sat, not Chid, not full with Ananda, and then we expect complete pleasure. I mean, if we logically consider it, it's like pretty unreasonable expectation itself. But still, due to ignorance, people do that, and then they expect that, and when they don't get it, what happens? They get frustrated, they get angry, they get upset. How dare you didn't satisfy me? I expect full satisfaction from you. Now people, they get upset, and so many things follow after that. So it's all due to ignorance. Due to ignorance, and then again due to one's level of consciousness. Like even Krishna tells Arjuna, there are three kinds of faith. Trivida bhavati shraddha. So whatever according to one's level of faith, they can appreciate God in that way. So the Brahmavadis, they meditate on Brahman. They don't meditate on the form of the Lord. Paramatmavadis, they meditate on Paramatma, the Vishnu form. But Bhakti Yogis, they meditate on Satchidananda Vigraha. They meditate on form of Krishna. Like we see here, Lord Brahma is the creator of this universe. He is meditating on Krishna, the cowherd boy. And then we see Brahma Samhita, so many beautiful prayers. Srila Prabhupada recommended devotees to learn these prayers and recite these prayers. So by meditating on saying these prayers, meditating on these prayers, we can actually realize this most beautiful form. That was experience of Brahma when he created the universe. It's even before starting the creation, there is darkness everywhere. He don't know what to do. What did he do? He started saying prayers. And he heard actually a voice, tapa. That's all he heard. A divine voice. And he realized he has to do tapa. So he had to meditate for thousands of years, celestial years. And that's when he heard from Krishna. He got the wisdom of the Vedas. So this wisdom, it does require a little bit of effort. Like this person at the airport, he did make a little effort. He just approached Maharaj and he got this realization from him. Man, I didn't know God has a form. And I can talk to him. I can say prayers. He is hearing my prayers. So it's not like you are saying your prayers and there is no one there. The statue is just looking at you and smiling. No. He is hearing your prayers. And according to the intensity of your prayers, according to our level of consciousness, he is responding. But we may see or we may not see. But he is responding to those prayers. I will just share this one historical event that happened. This is in Remuna. There is a famous temple, Shirachor Gopinath. And spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya, Madhvendra Puri, he was traveling through there. He was ordered to go and get some sandalwood by Gopal in Vrindavan. So from Vrindavan, he had to go all the way down and he had to get this sandalwood paste to cool down the body of Gopal at Govardhan, because he was feeling very hot. He was like, go and get some sandalwood for me. I need to cool down. It's very hot. I've been under the earth for a long time. So finally you are here to worship me. Now go and get some sandalwood paste. And so Madhvendra Puri, he went. On the way, he stopped at Shirachor Gopinath. We have Shirachor Gopinath Das here. So I had the opportunity to go with some devotees to this temple. They still serve that shira, that sweet rice. It's so delicious. I cannot deny that. Of course, when Madhvendra Puri got it, I'm sure the standards were much more higher, and we can see Madhvendra Puri receiving that prasadam directly from Shirachor Gopinath. After him, he got this name, Shirachor Gopinath. Before that, he was just Gopinath. But when Madhvendra Puri, he received this pot of sweet rice, he became Shirachor Gopinath. The deity, he stole a pot of sweet rice. When I heard this first time, I was like, no, that's too much. It cannot happen. That's like, how can I accept this? But it's incredible. This is one of the pastimes that actually helped me understand, man, this deity is not standing here. He is doing something. He is always doing something. We see Jagannath Puri. There is this one book by Bhakti Purushottam Swami. He has written many pastimes of Lord Jagannath. And one of the points that I remember is he says, you see Jagannath's eyes, they don't have eyelids. Can someone guess why he don't have eyelids? Nekatma Prabhu. Yeah, he never sleeps. He's never sleeps, so he don't have eyelids. And then what happens? During the day, he's giving darshan to the devotees, to the people of this planet. At night, who he gives darshan to? People from other planets, higher planets. The devatas, they come and they take darshan. That's what Jagannath is doing. We may be thinking, okay, it's time to go to bed. But here is Jagannath. He's always there. Okay, come and take darshan. I'm here for you. But how many people know about Lord Jagannath? One person actually told me, the video games, they have a personality called Juggernaut. So this person told me, he got books, he started reading and he was appreciating that. And then I think he came for Rath Yatra, or I don't know, he visited the temple, and I told him, I think he visited the temple. I was explaining to him, these are the names of these deities. And when I said Jagannath, when we went out, he told me, actually these people are misrepresenting Jagannath. I was like, what do you mean? He said, like I play video games, and there is this personality called Juggernaut, but he's a demoniac personality. And here you are telling me about Jagannath. He's the Lord of the universe, and he's so kind and loving to everyone. So I was really impressed with him. I was like, wow, man, like he's such a new person. But he can see this, that some people are misrepresenting the Lord. And he could appreciate, okay, now I know who Jagannath is. So we have the chariot festival, which will be coming up in a few months, the biggest event organized by our temple for public. And there we see so many people, new people, they follow the chariot. They don't know what's going on, who is this. Some of them know, many of them they don't know. But just hearing, it's so attractive, and seeing. Most people they see, and it gets very attractive. So the Lord, he becomes more attractive when he is surrounded by his devotees. When he is being served by his devotees, his beauty increases. So this is how, just by meditating on form of the Lord, serving him, we can become more beautiful, we can become more attractive, and we can increase the pleasure of the Lord and make him look more beautiful and more attractive. And we don't have to meditate on some void or impersonal or something. But just to conclude the story here, like talking about the thighs, we see when Prahlad was being tormented by Hiranyakashipu, then here is talking about the thighs. So how did Lord Narsingha slay Hiranyakashipu? He lifted him and put him on his thigh. We can see in the picture. He's holding him on the thigh, and then he did his last ceremony there. He did the operation. Some people call it a heart surgery. And you can see he's wearing his intestines around his neck. But for Prahlad, it's the most beautiful scene. And but for a person who doesn't have devotion, they can get scared to see a scene something like this. You see, sometimes some children, they look at the picture, some of them, they really like it, because they see little Prahlad is offering a garland. But then other kids, they get scared. Oh, what's going on here? Let's get out of here. So, for the devotees, the Lord comes in whatever form, it increases their devotion. It inspires them to do more service. So similarly, Rukmini Dwarkadish, they are inspiring all of us to offer very nice service for pleasure of their devotees, for pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. These were some of the points. We are very fortunate to have this opportunity, and I'm sure all of us are trying our best to tell others about this. But this Jagannath Rath Yatra is very easy way to do that. And we can make plans to tell people about this already. And so more and more people can get to know about it and come and receive the mercy of Lord Jagannath, who never closes his eyes. So these are like beautiful qualities. We are meditating on the form, then we can meditate on the qualities, because how do you get attracted to some person? Not just by looking at them. That will create some attraction. But once you get to know the person and you know, oh, this person is very rude, I don't want to talk to this person. But when you know all the attractive qualities, beautiful qualities, wow, look at this person, how he dresses. Look at this person, how he talks. Look at this person, how he dances. I love the way this person dances. Many people love to dance. So you see, meditate on the dance of Krishna. The greatest dance performance, greatest music concert. And we can get to that dance performance. We can get an opportunity to participate in that dance performance. So I will stop here. There is 1 minute or maybe few seconds. If any one of you want to share some realization or say something on whatever points we have discussed here. Yes, Brigupati Prabhu. I wanted to put some more slides here so we can look at different forms of the Lord, but I didn't have time. I just started learning to worship the deities, so I was dressing the deities today, and I texted back to Archita Prabhu, it will be totally extempore. There is no preparation, so I'll try my best. But we hear so much, so we have heard so much, I'm sure we can remember something. Krishna always helps. Thank you for encouraging words. Did you want to share something? Okay, I think we'll just end here then. Thank you very much. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.